Littlest Pet Shop. We all know of them and we all love them. But how did they evolve? So let's have a look at some of the first Littlest Pet Shop toys that were ever made. Now remember guys, if you love LPS, to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more LPS content. And if you enjoy this video, part 2 of this series will be coming soon. So guys, these were some of the first original Littlest Pet Shop that were ever made. Now the first ever Littlest Pet Shop were not actually designed by Hasbro, but by a company called Kenner. Now this collection is regularly referred to as the vintage Kenner Littlest Pet Shops, because some people mistakenly call these Generation 1. But Generation 1 officially began when Hasbro took over the company in 2005. There were many Littlest Pet Shop variations released under the Kenner brand, which would make the current generation of LPS more like Generation 50 if the Kenner collection are considered as Generation 1. So we do believe that they are referred to as the vintage Kenner Littlest Pet Shop. So here is one of the first released. They were known as Little Paw Prince Pets. Now it came as a choice of a fat yellowish cat or a black dog with tan marks. They came on a moulded plastic base that would hide a rolling stamper built into the underside. Now the cat stamp had red ink and the dog stamp had purple ink. So here you can see one of the vintage packages, and it looks pretty different from the Littlest Pet Shop packets today, but it is very cute. It does look like a Littlest Pet Shop on the front, and they have a really cute colour scheme with the pink and the purple. Now because so many variations were released of these pets, we obviously don't have time to show you every single one in this video, but we are going to show you one from each of the ranges. So next came the ready-to-go pets. Now this one was called Frisky Kitty, and it was a little black grey cat with a pink carrier. It came with an ID tag, a food dish, and a magnetised ball of wool. In 1993, they brought out another one, which was a cream-coloured cat. Now believe it or not, I actually played with this toy when I was younger, as an older family friend had grown out of them and decided to give one to me. Next up came the Pet Presents series. Now this series included a product called Marching Mice, and they are so cute. They consisted of 3 little mice, 2 of which were magnetised, and they were grey or white in the 1992 version, but then they had black and white patches in the 1993 version. They came in a little plastic tank, which could actually have the lid turned over to become a little maze. It also came with magnetised cheese, a little water bottle, and a food dish. And again, here's an example of the box that they came in. Cozy Home Pets. Here is the puppy trio from the Cozy Home Pets collection. It consisted of a poodle, a German shepherd, and a black-brown mutt. It came with a doghouse and fenced-in green grass base, a food dish, a mailbox, and a magnetised newspaper. Pressing the poodle's tail would make her scratch her ear, and pressing the shepherd's tail would make him shake his paw. The mutt's bobblehead was magnetised to play tug-of-war with the paper and bone. And here again is the old vintage box. Mommies and Babies. Look how cute this Mommy and Baby kitty set is. Now this came with a grey or white mother, and kittens came in yellow, grey and white. And here you can see the old box with all the little pieces that came in the set. And of this one, we're lucky enough to have a picture of the back of the box too. Kenner also released some vintage playsets, and this one was called the Care Centre. It was a veterinarian playset with a dog, a kitten and numerous little pieces. It came with a white bed with an adjustable pillow angle, an aqua weighing table which had a removable meter and 2 drawers, and a magnetic X-ray machine with a blue scanner. 1993 saw the release of the family film Beethoven's Second. Now, with a film featuring a family of dogs, Kenner produced some really cute little sweet playsets based on the film. 1993 to 1994. Littlest Pet Shop Zoo Sets. These were called the Keep Me Safe pets, and this set was called the Jungle Bunch. It featured an elephant, a panda, a leopard, a bird with a zoo enclosure, bowl of food, coconut and branch of brown bamboo. The elephant squirts water out of its ear when squeezed. The panda holds the bamboo and raises it towards its head to eat when the head is pushed. And they also produced a polar themed set that featured penguins, a seal and a polar bear. Nursery pets. Now this was the baby tiger set, and it came with the baby tiger, a baby cockatoo, a zoo enclosure, food bowl and a ball on a string. There was also a zebra and a chimp available in this collection. And here are some of the other sets released between 1993 and 1994. Playful Ponies, the Shy Shetland set. Wilderness Pets, Playful Sea Lion. Play With Me Pets, Baby Lamb. It came with a removable woolly coat. Pal Around Pups, Prize Winning Pups. Splash Time Pets, Swimming Ducklings. A mother duck with 2 baby ducklings, all magnetized, and they could be moved in the pond by a magnetized wand. There is also a swan version. Chatter Pets, Chirpy Tree Friends. My Real Pets, Clever Collie. There were many more pets in this collection, others called Playful Persian, Fancy Poodle and Brave German Shepherds. 1995. The first Littlest Pet Shop animation series. In 1995, Littlest Pet Shop became an animated children's television series based on the toy franchise released by the Kenner Products. The series debuted on October the 16th, 1995 in the United States. Littlest Pet Shop follows the lives of 5 miniature animals who live in a pet shop on Littlest Lane. It may not look like Littlest Pet Shop as we know it, but I can assure you that it was. In fact, they even released a toy range based on the characters from the cartoon series. 1995 to 1996. Shimmering Merpets. This range featured cats and dogs in the form of little shimmering mermaids. Dazzling Hair Pets. This featured cute little pets with crazy long hair that you could style. SeaWorld. McDonald's Happy Meals. Kenner released a set of Littlest Pet Shop figures for girls to be included in McDonald's Happy Meals alongside the boys' version of the Transformer toys. And 1996 brings us to the end of part 1, as this is the year that Kenner stopped producing Littlest Pet Shop figures. And it was not until 2005, when Hasbro took over the company, that we saw the release of the first generation of Littlest Pet Shops. Kenner Parker toys was sold in 1987 to Tonka, the toy company, and then in mid-1991, Tonka was purchased by the toy company Hasbro. In 2004, Hasbro released a new version of Littlest Pet Shop toys, and these are the figures that most people think of today when they think of LPS. And this little Chihuahua figure was figure number 1. Now, the first generation of Hasbro Littlest Pet Shops featured new molds, and they resembled a much more cartoon-like look than the earlier Kenner pets. These Generation 1s did include colour schemes that would typically be found on the pet the figure represented. These pets also all had big bobble heads, except for the fish. But the earliest of the Hasbro line had a pink magnet on the bottom of the animal. So if you look on the bottom of your LPS figure and you see a pink magnet, chances are you may just have a Generation 1 Littlest Pet Shop. It was Sharon John, who was the head of Hasbro's Girls Division Group, who decided to redesign Littlest Pet Shop. She mixed the modern with the traditional. So they decided to give the animals big, vulnerable eyes, which were made popular by Japanese animators. They changed their packaging, but they kept the figures the same size as before, much smaller than most dolls, because they knew that little girls like to collect and carry little things. Now, you may be surprised to hear this, but at first the old customers who collected the Kenner LPS were not happy with the new look, but gradually new fans became avid collectors and the new look was a success. The number range for pets in the first generation of Hasbro's Littlest Pet Shop is from number 1 to number 459. This is number 456 and it was one of the last produced, a Walmart exclusive. One of the last pets produced for Generation 1. In 2007, Hasbro introduced Generation 2. In Gen 2, Hasbro started to have a lot of fun with the eyes of the LPS, where different symbols in their eyes had different meanings and related to different series of pets. For example, diamonds represented fanciest pets, cookies with a bite represented hungriest, and here is an example of all of the eye types and meanings. Chilliest, cuddliest, fanciest, friendliest, funniest, grooviest, happiest, hungriest, littlest, messiest, mods, postcard. Tonkiest. Sassiest. And sportiest. So, which collection is your favourite? And which collection would you be? I think I would be friendliest and probably hungriest. But my favourite is fanciest. The Gen 2 pets also had a glossy finish on their eyes instead of the matte look from Generation 1. Some of the latest ones in 2007 didn't have a magnet but a hexagon hole instead, and this was due to magnets being a choking hazard. Except for the birds, who were given a rectangular slot for them to perch on playsets. And here is an example of an authentic Generation 4 pet, and here you can see the hexagon hole under the paw. And here are some more examples of Generation 2 LPS. In 2007, they released the first video game starring LPS, and it was called LPSO. And LPSO was, of course, an acronym for Littlest Pet Shop Online. This was an online world available to you after you bought a stuffed animal with a code. And this is an example of one of the stuffed animals you could buy. Sadly though, after only a year or two, LPSO was shut down. In 2008, Littlest Pet Shop released a new LPS video game available in stores. It was available for the Nintendo Wii, Windows and Nintendo DS. Now this game stayed around a lot longer than LPSO. If any of you had this game, comment below. In 2010, Littlest Pet Shop teamed up with Blythe to sell Littlest Pet Shop and Blythe. Blythe loves LPS. These pet sets were a huge hit and many of them were sold. And this concludes Generation 2. In 2012, Littlest Pet Shop released a brand new TV series based on the Littlest Pet Shop and Blythe toy line. The show centres on Blythe Baxter, a teenage girl who, after moving into an apartment in a city, gains the ability to communicate with animals. Located below her apartment is the Littlest Pet Store, where Blythe works and talks to a group of pets who regularly reside at a daycare in the shop. To go alongside with this, Hasbro revamped the entire Littlest Pet Shop toy range and brought out brand new designs. However, this was going to be the biggest mistake they ever made, as the majority of collectors and fans hated this generation of pets. With the fans calling them creepy and weird looking, for months Hasbro had non-stop phone calls from fans complaining and asking them to bring back the old LPS. During this time, they also brought out the Sweetest Pet series, which were pets named after sweets and candy. Rollaroos, which were pets shaped like small balls. None of these were much loved by fans, however. Finally, they released the Totally Talented range of pets, but again, the fans didn't really like them very much. In 2014, they released a Littlest Pet Shop mobile phone game, simply called Littlest Pet Shop, and this game was based on building a city. There was also a Littlest Pet Shop comic book released around the same time. This comic book only ran for 5 issues, however, and again wasn't very popular. After the fans complained about the Generation 3 pets, Hasbro tried to fix the problem in 2 generations by bringing back some of the old style designs. During this time, they released the Pet Possibilities collection. And in 2016, they released the Pets in the City collection, which more closely resembled the pets from Generation 2. The Fairy Pets line were also released during this time, and so were the Mommy and Baby Pets and Passport fashion lines. They also released Littlest Pet Shop blind bags in this generation, where you could get miniature but non-bobbling versions of LPS. LPS were once again revamped in 2017 with new molds and rounded eyes similar to the second generation pets. Some of the pets released under this line include the Black and White Pop collection and the Rainbow collection. It was also during this time that a new show premiered on Discovery Family called Littlest Pet Shop, A World of Our Own. Pet pairs and teensy pets were also brought out during this time. In Series 2, Hasbro brought out the Sparkle Pets collection, and in Series 3, they released Pet Tubes, which were large tubes filled with LPS. Series 4 then saw the release of the Petal Party Pets, which were glittery pets with flower designs. And finally, with Series 5 came the Lucky Pets range. There were the Lucky Pets Crystal Balls and the Lucky Pets Fortune Surprise. One of the latest additions to the LPS is the LPS vending machines, which are boxes which resemble vending machines, and they are very cool. Now we are up to date with the history of LPS, and now you know where they came from and where they are now. Thanks for watching. Bye!